Hey there, you guys. Cassandra here, and you are joining the Lifestyle Journey with Cassie B. So, I want to welcome everyone to the video, and if there are any new subscribers, welcome on into the channel. Today, we are going to be doing my week 37 update for Mounjaro, my weight loss journey with Mounjaro. Today is Tuesday, February the 4th, 2025. And yeah, so week 37. And then today is Tuesday. I do my shots on Thursdays. So technically, this is like a midweek, or I could say it's 5 days into the current week, where I'm doing these updates because I do choose to film when I'm here in the office with a more stable setup. Um, that may change. I don't know. You may notice they're a little bit different of a background. I'm in the same spot, but a lot of my personal effects are no longer in there, and that's because I will be moving offices. I'm actually going to be sharing an office with my boss. They're kind of shaking some things up here at work, so um, hopefully I will still, get to be in the office by myself where I can film these videos. I just might have to make sure I get them done a little bit earlier in the day rather than waiting till it's almost 2 o'clock to try to get these things knocked out, because I should get here before her. Like, for instance, I'm in on Tuesdays, she's normally in on Wednesdays, and we don't see each other. But of course, she found some reason to come in today. Then we are, in the process. We have to be out of here. I think they wanted us by the end of February, but is what the director overall said. But then our immediate boss wants us to be finished being packed up by the 18th. So that gives us 2 more weeks. But yeah, the first thing I did when I got in here this morning was start taking down, pictures and throwing out stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna have a lot. So I think I'm done with the packing that I'm gonna do so far today. That's where we're at with that. As I stated, today is the 4th of February. When I last updated you, it was January the 28th. And at that time, I was weighing in at 296.2 and was down. So far, it says 3 pounds. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, that's right. 299.2 is where I started out at the beginning of that week. And then I was down to 296.2, meaning that I had lost so far last Tuesday 3 pounds. It didn't finish that way. I ended up back at 298.6. So I only lost 0.6 pounds for that 10 milligram shot, which I took on the right side of my stomach. So yeah, we were starting out this week at the 298.6 shot that I took on January 30th. And so far this morning, I am down to 295. So that means that so far this week, I've lost 3.6 pounds, and we will see where I end up Tuesday. Because for me, what happens is I'm normally down on Tuesday, and then I'm trying to fight to maintain it. And that doesn't always happen. I sometimes lose that battle, as I did last week. Because I was down 296.2, then I went right back up to 298.6 on on Wednesday, and then I maintained that on Thursday. So that's where we're at. But I can't really be mad. My diet has not been the best, in these weeks. Appetite suppression is still there, and that's basically what I have going for me, is that the medicine does really help to suppress the appetite, and I eat far less um, of whatever it may be. Like I said, the choices are not always the best choices in the world. Now, this wasn't, I'm not sure the date that we went out, but I ended up going out with like my family to dinner to Red Robin. And I did make a good choice in the sense that I decided that I opted for a salad for my meal, and not even a entree salad, if you will. I guess it was an entree salad, but I got a garden salad, so no meat in the salad. And then I ended up getting some garlic fries. So my dinner was the salad and garlic fries, of which I probably ate, I don't know, maybe, if I hesitate to even say, a third of the fries and like half the salad, you know. But that wasn't over this past couple of weeks. That's just to give you an example of, when I do try to make healthier choices. But either way, no matter what, the appetite is being suppressed. All right, so, and the only side effect that I would say that I have right now is a little bit slight constipation this week. And that's it. But that's all I've ever really had. In the past month or so, slight diarrhea sometimes, but overall, slight constipation has been my only thing. Maybe a little bit of fatigue here or there, but I really couldn't speak to that too much, because the thing that I like to do, I joked with my brother yesterday because we were talking about sleeping. Something my nephew had said. It was like, "You're always asleep," as if I don't know what's going on because I'm asleep. But I'm like, little do you know, baby, this is my pastime. I love to sleep. That's what I like to do. I like to watch TV, read, and sleep. Those are my favorite things to do. So we'll see what happens at the end of this week. Because, like I said, some of those choices I think might have been catching up with me over the last couple of weeks, the not so good things, but the majority of it is sodas. Um, I will have my daughter bring me a soda from work about 3 nights out of the week, and that's not good. And I need to make sure, I need to work on increasing my water intake. So yeah, and that's where we're at with that. So I think if I lay off the sodas again, and because they will either put weight on you or make you retain it. So if I let go of those things, I think that I will be in a much, much better situation. I'm apparently firmly into Tutorville right now. So like I said, I got on the scale and it read 295 3 times this morning. So we will see. We'll see how I hold on to that, because this is like surreal to me that I am finally under 300 pounds after so long. As I may have said in some other videos, I think I've been this weight as early back as, say, 2015, but I didn't stay there long. But I mean, I have been under 300, but not this far under. 295 is new territory. 295 is new territory as far as I can remember, without, going back into my MyFitnessPal. And I didn't plan to talk about that, so we're not gonna go that far back, to extend this video any further than it really needs to be extended today. So, but I believe this is the lowest that I have been in over 10 years. And so the next milestone is 290, which is my next 5 pound milestone anyway, because I do things in 5 pound increments. So that's my next milestone for myself, is 290 anyway. And then that is going to be brand new territory for me in the most recent, well, not recent, but the most the most that I can remember back of adult life. I remember I was 290 for, when I tell you a hot second, a hot second. I was on Weight Watchers. I think back then I had joined at 314, thinking, oh God, this is, and don't get me wrong, that's too much on a 5'3" frame, even then. But that was before my daughter. Um, and that was the heaviest I had been then. No reason to be. I mean, is there ever a reason to really be overweight other than the fact that you're just eating too much? But that's neither here nor there. But 314, and I'm like, I got to do something. So I had joined Weight Watchers, and it might have been the second time I had joined. I don't know. I can't remember. It was one of the earlier attempts, so I do know that. And I had gotten down to 290, and then I had an event that I went to. Gosh, really dating myself. I used to chat in these chat rooms online. And if any of you guys out there used to visit chat rooms, then you know that sometimes you will have in-person parties that they call offlines. And so I went to an offline at 290, and it was basically just a big party. And you got drinking, and then there was like a hospitality room with snacks and stuff, and then they'll have a banquet night. Anyway, I was 290 for that hot second, probably that day. That Friday, I think it was, because I think I was back up a couple pounds. And then I don't remember what happened after that. So, I mean, I might have gotten smaller, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I probably was up, and then I probably ended up falling off the program or whatever. But that's the lowest I remember being. So I once I get there, which that's my goal to be at by the end of February. We'll see if I make it. And if so, then like I said, it's like uncharted territory. Now I know I've been smaller in adult life, but as far as what I recall on a weight loss journey, that's the last thing that I remember. So, um, so yeah, I'm super stoked at the progress so far, and I can't even believe I'm here, and it's wild. So my non-scale victories, we're still in the area of clothing. I don't know if I talked about this in the last video, but yeah, still just going through shopping my closet or trying on different things that I have put away um, from some time ago, and just hadn't thought about it anymore, or was just like, I know I'm gonna get into it at some point, but then really wasn't doing anything to get into it. So this particular non-scale victory has, in the area of clothing, has to do with some sleepwear that I had. And I know I've talked about getting a subscription box from Izzy and Liv, and they had some pajamas in there. And so these particular pajamas, I could get in, but it wasn't the most comfortable. The shirt was definitely, you know, pulling. It's a button down situation. It was definitely pulling in basically the entire front. I think the arms, they may have fit, but I'm sure they were tight. And as far as the pants, that's really what I remember, how they fit. And I was able to get into them, but sitting, it had to be a very careful situation. And they have, funny thing, have one pocket um on the right side, and I could barely get a hand in the pocket. Well, I went to try those pants, and then I look, but even though I couldn't get into them like that, I'm like, I'm gonna end up getting into them. I also have to think about this matchy situation. um I don't think I have anything Izzy and Liv here right now, but there will send out a thing. Oh yes, I do. What am I thinking about? My bag. Now, this lunch bag. Sometimes they'll have these things, and they will come in multiple prints. Like this isn't the first. This isn't the bag that I got in my box. That's a bag that they had a sale five four items for $35, and I hopped on it, and that's one of the things that I ordered. But my bag that I got was a brown one. And in any event, they will sometimes have different items that will have a matching print. For instance, I got a tumbler when I got the lunch bag, and though mine did mesh and look like they went together, there was actually an exact match for my lunch bag. There's not an exact match for this one, but anyway, I digress. Point being, they when they sent out those pajamas, they actually sent out bonnets, I think, and eye mask as well. I think, and definitely an eye mask. And mine didn't match. But then when they ended up having a sale, even though the pajamas didn't really fit, when stuff went on sale, I went back and got the pajamas that matched the bonnet and the eye mask. So I have a couple pairs of those pajamas that didn't really fit. And you're going to hear me talk about more about another situation like that in probably about another 20 pounds. But anyway, the point is, I put those pajamas on, and it's like I, as my arms are the biggest part of I guess the upper body situation, and that's what would prohibit me from getting in a lot of things. These arms, the top fits, I could probably overlapped it. The arms, major room in the arms, and then I put the pants on. They slid on effortlessly, and I actually could pull them up to like my chest. What? It's like, girl, you almost missed the opportunity. You almost missed your window of opportunity of being able to wear the things because so much room. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna keep them. It's not like they're falling off, but that's crazy. I mean, so because you've lost weight, but when you're still running around here wearing the same things over and over and over, you don't really realize it. You don't really, okay, now you've lost, because as of today, I forgot to mention that the 295, that means I have lost 66.6 pounds. I wish it was 66.5 or 66.7, but anyway, that's where we are. So I'm claiming every bit of that, 66.6 pounds down as of today. And um, so there's a difference, but like I said, when you're wearing the same things day in and day out, which is my standard of a t-shirt and leggings. And yeah, those leggings, they also were coming up all the way to your stomach. I mean, to your chest area. It's still, they still pretty much fit the same because it's leggings. So to see that I was floored. I was floored. So I, I'm excited. And then some other things still don't fit. So it's all in different manufacturers and cuts and things like that. But that's where I was with that. And then this current outfit that I'm wearing, and I wish my daughter told me I looked fine. I was running late this morning. My little nephew was in the bathroom way past the time that I should have been in there so I can get to work. But I hadn't really planned out what I was going to wear. I should have, but went in the closet and was like, you know what, let me look a little bit more put together today. And so I pulled out the outfit that I have on today. And these pants are actually, the whole outfit is something that a friend of mine gave me as she was cleaning out her closet. Or actually, some people had given some stuff to her, when stuff that couldn't use, and or knew she wouldn't, and she had passed them on to me. And then I had just never put it on. I picked out the stuff that I figured I might would use and pass the other stuff on to Goodwill or other people. And yeah, so I think I probably could always wear the shirt to a degree, or at least from the time that I remember trying it on. But It definitely fit a lot different. But this shirt is an Old Navy XXL. So yeah, and it. Whoops, we're not in a great position to really see totally. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of how that fits. So it fits quite nicely. I got, you know, it's quite roomy. And then these pants that I have on, once again, they're coming all the way up. Now these pants, they have a zip on the side and then they button. But I can get into them without undoing the zipper at all. And they are a 3X now. Yeah. So I almost missed. Now they fit, I guess you would say, waist wise. It's not like they're gonna fall off me at any point. Here, you know, in the next couple days or so, but they are loose. Everywhere else, other than I guess I would say, waist area. Um, I mean, they fit, but they're real comfortable. There was a time that I, of course, couldn't get into even these, and they still a 3X. So yeah, clothing sizes across the brands are. I wish they were more universal, but obviously they are not. But I'm still happy to say that I could get into them and pull together a little work fit, as monochromatic as it is, that I could fit into it and wear it comfortably to work, to drive in, to sit. And, I'm happy with that. Also, getting into clothing that you would think I should not be able to get into from the TikTok shop. Okay. So I have ordered basically some two-piece. Everything is called a two-piece set over there, no matter what it is. It could be an athletic wear, it could be dressy, it could be shorts, but the two-piece set apparently is a thing. Now I got into it looking at these things, the athletic version, from looking at uh Lipo B, Lipo C distributor over there. And she talked about these two-piece sets, and she's really thin, and I think they only went up to an XL, I think, which was like a size 12. That particular version that she was in, I'm like, oh, you could cancel Christmas on that. Ain't nowhere in the world. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm about to get into that. But I came across some that were um a little bit larger, just a little bit. I think they went up to an XXL, which was supposed to be a 14. But there was a lady that should have been around my size, three something, and she got into it. She said she normally wore like a 3X, 2X, 3X or something like that. And then I saw yet someone else who was able to get into it. You know what? I just thought about it. I got another order. Okay. All right. I was about to say, I got another order that's coming that I should be concerned about. But anyway, this particular order, I ordered these sets, and they, like I said, they were an XXL, which said that it was a size 14 US, and the inches for the waist um only supposed to go up to a 30, from 33.9 to 36.2 inches, and the hips 43.7 to 46.1, and I'm above all of that. So and the bust 41.7 to 44.1. Now like I said, it says XXL size 14, but these ladies got into it, and so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it, and lo and behold, I got it, and I could fit into it. Now, is it the most flattering around the stomach area? Not really, but it's really supposed to be active wear, at least for me for now. It is active wear, and I'm like, whoa, I can't believe that I actually got into this stuff. So, I was very happy with that. Um, let's see what size. Okay, this thing was the 3XL, so no surprise there. But even at that, they say their 3XL was a size 18 for the US. And again, I think, well, I know because I tried on some jeans. That's another clothing victory that I hadn't had on in a while. They're a size 22. So I think I am firmly into a size 22, maybe a 20. And these say 18. So that outfit fits extremely well. And I'm expecting these three-piece workout sets, the little leggings and the bra top and little jacket. I'm expecting these, and they are in a triple XL, but according to the size guide on that, that's a US size 16. And I think, yeah, all the measurements are still pretty much the same. The hips 46.1 to 48.4. And my hips are probably I think about a 58. But this lady had it on 5'11", 365, and she had on day 3X, and I'm now 295. So 70 pounds lighter. Plus I'm only 5'3", so I don't have to stretch they don't have to stretch as far in either direction. So I should be able to wear those. And so being able to buy stuff that probably I shouldn't be able to fit into according to those parameters, but I am happy with that. So that's where we are. Um, an update that I will be doing as far as giving me more metrics to go by is that I have downloaded yet another app. It is called Zozo Fit, and I have ordered a Zozo suit. And I just ordered that yesterday. It had free express shipping. It's already shipped by FedEx. So I hope that I will either have that today or tomorrow. And so that's another metric that I will be able to use. Now, you can use the app without their suit, but I just feel like with their suit is going to be even more accurate. But this app is amazing, and I'm kind of going to try to use that in comparison to the Me 360 app with their scan. I wanted to show you, okay, yeah, I just want to show you my scans, but this thing is pretty awesome. Now you do put in your height and weight, and here's where I feel like how you really gonna know. Well, I don't know how the suit will really measure I don't know how the suit will measure your body fat percentage, but this is not right. It's telling me that my body fat was 75.5%, and I know that shouldn't be correct because my scale had the longest time had been measuring me at 75, and it is finally going down. Plus, when I had my DEXA scan, even when it was having me at 75, I think I was more like 50, so I know that that's not right. But if you all can see this, it is like a 3D scan of your actual body. That thing is freaking amazing. And then it actually shows you your gives you I've hopped off of it. But then it also shows you your your measurements. So, but I feel like, which is also pretty cool because then when you click on one area, because it'll show you like exactly where they measured it. So it's telling you exactly like where you should measure if you're trying to follow up with on your own with a measuring tape or whatever. So yeah, I just did this, of course, without the suit, of course, because like I said, I just downloaded the app and ordered the suit yesterday. But I thought that was real interesting, and I am looking forward to being able to use this suit for those measurements, which I'll probably still do just well, I'm gonna do it as soon as I get the suit, but then I'll have them coincide with when I end a box, um, and be doing it once a month. But yeah, um, and the suit was kind of expensive. I think once upon a time, it was actually I came across a video where it said it was free. And I think at the time he said they were using it as sort of it always scanned your body, but it was more so of just a way to track your body for clothing sizes. And so he only had to pay shipping and it was free. But then the updated suit came along, and at the time, which was about 3 or 4 years ago, was 100. Now it's 159. Um, I did come across a coupon code because, again, still a couponer to my heart. If I'm gonna find a code, if there's a way to save some money, I'm gonna save it. So yes, let me get your little referral codes. He said $10. I was gonna use his, and I looked at a couple other people's videos. Somebody said 10%, but when I put in the code, it was still $10. So it's like, okay, well, who am I gonna give this money to? Then I came across yet someone else's video that was a little bit more recent, like I think 11 months or so, put in his code and they actually gave $16 off. So that was the 10%. So I'm like, yeah, let's go with that one. And then I'm a budgeter. So did I pay everything at once? No. I used a firm that is my friend. And for the first time, it did really something strange. It told me I'm paying for it over 3 months. And so I had to pay just $7, not even the first whole payment. And they shipping it. So my first payment comes out in a month later. So that's cool. But anyway, I'm like, do I really want to spend this money on the suit though? That's the point that I really want to get it because it's kind of expensive. But the funny thing was, I think over a certain weight they probably don't make them. I just know if I put in where I really started at 361, it says out of stock. But I personally think they don't make a suit. They probably don't make it that heavy. That so for someone that weight, and then too, it could be out of stock. I don't know, but I know that I went down to a very low weight, and it said out of stock. And I'm like, at that point, yeah, they probably shouldn't make suits for somebody that weighing 50 pounds, right? But I mean, I guess they could, but it said out of stock as well. So I think just on a very low range or a very high range, they don't make them. But at the beginning of my journey, I would have been in a different size suit. But anyway, so when I ordered it yesterday, I put in 296 because that's where I was, and it gave me the name. They call them different names, and mine is the Nana. So at 296, I'm in a Nana, and I think I was in a something with a O. Oh, where am I at? I can tell you right now. So, yeah, I was in something oi. I would have been in, but because I was at 296 and not 297, I was in a Nana. Now, supposedly this suit fits all the way down to 176. So I think I'm in a perfect size because that or I'm in a perfect range right now, I would say, for having this come back across my timeline because I've seen the suit before. But yeah, so I should supposedly that's the suit that I would wear all the way down to like 176. And personally, I'm not sure where my weight loss goal is right now. Everything is just cake right now for me because I'm finally under 300. I'm under, well, 320 was my pre-pregnancy weight, but I'm under my pre-pregnancy weight. I'm under 300. I'm about to be under 290. Everything else is just icing on the cake for me. The closer I can get to 200, that will be great because then I'm in college day weight. Was it the healthiest? No. Was it the biggest thing in the world? Also no. And I was able to trot around campus pretty much with no problems. Never liked stairs and never really liked heels, but I could make it. If I get down to that 225 is like the far reaching goal that I put into any of the apps that I ever put in if I go further than the 5 pound increments. But yeah, that's the long range goal that I've thought about. Anything beyond that, I don't really know. But it is good to know that it will go down to at least 176 because back in my mind, I thought maybe I would want to get to 180. And I lied. That's not the last weight that I remember. 290 is not the last. Well, it's like I said, the last real adult weight that I remember trying to lose weight. So the last weight that I remember being in high school was 196. And so in the back of my mind, 180 sounded like a good number for me whenever I thought about losing weight before. But I did have a doctor once tell me, well, what do you remember being in high school? And I told her. And she said, well, it's probably not really. Now, she just might have been trying to be supportive in a sense, but I don't know. She might have been limiting me. Um, Also, I don't know what you want to say with that, but I mean, to be quite honest with you, if I still had her as a doctor, being on Weight Watchers, I would have been like, yeah, because I don't ever want to be 130, 140, I don't think. But in order to be, if I was going to Weight Watchers and paying, in order to become lifetime, where you reach a goal, you don't have to pay, it has to be within those standards of that BMI chart or whatever your physician says for you. So back in the day, I was like, yeah, if she think that's gonna be too small, um, then I could probably reach lifetime and stay there at a much higher weight. Anyway, the things you think of, always thinking about saving $1. But anyway, it's nice that this suit goes down to even below where I think I want to end up. But it's funny to me that it's the same suit because that's actually 120-pound range. I'm gonna have to keep a check on that because at least that's what it's saying. It's saying the same suit, but yet the next suit down, once you reach 175, only goes from a range of 147 to 175. So I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, I feel like, if it at least gives me 50 pounds, if it at least gives me 50 pounds, um, before I have to think about buying another one, I think that's good. So, but yeah, that's a little strange now that I'm looking at it. But in my mind, I was just like, hey, because I put in all the weights, all the weights, and it was still giving, and even today, it's giving me, actually, this is what I just looked up today, but when I looked it up yesterday, that's what it told me. And that's what it's telling me today. It's the same suit from 176 to 296. So, um, that suit is going to do me just fine for quite a while. But I don't really know how that's gonna work. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's gonna have to be tight at 290. If I could just, like I said, at 297, I would have been in another suit. So for me to be able to get into that at 295, and it's supposed to go all the way down to 176, it's got to be tight at 295. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see, and I look forward to bringing you guys whatever those results look like. But yes, I think that's it. It's definitely enough. Every time I think this is going to be a short video, it ends up being extremely long. Hopefully, I'll be able to edit it down to a more reasonable amount, but it's still a lot of information. Still a lot of me talking. Hope you guys don't mind. And I thank you for letting me chronicle these adventures and my random thoughts. Okay, though, if you have any questions or comments, do not hesitate to leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, until the next video, peace and blessings.